Yes.
Okay. A gender equal society would be the one where word gender does not exist and where everyone is identified as individual irrespective of the gender they identify with. With this thought, I welcome you to this special session or the edition of the webinar series on the topic gender neutral education. This webinar series, just to give you an introduction, has been initiated by Indian Institute of Material Management and Nirvan University, Jaipur, to bring to the fore thinkers, leaders, activists, academicians on a single platform to deliberate upon the issues of concern. The Nirvan University, Jaipur, is a state private university located in Jaipur, which offers various courses in interdisciplinary way as per the national education policy, ranging from engineering and technology to humanities and social sciences to hospitality, education, and under the aegis of Nirvan University, we have founded Center for Women and Gender Studies. And I, Professor Tanu Tandon, Director, Center for Women and Gender Studies, welcome you to this very special edition of the webinar, Gender Neutral Education. And to deliberate upon this topic, we are fortunate to have among us Mr. Yadven Singh Darvesh and Ms. Anshu Srivastav, who have been involved with the causes of gender for a long time, since a long time. Mr. Yadven Singh is an equal right defender and is involved in protecting and promoting the gender rights of minority since 20 years. He has been instrumental and actively involved in organizing the Queer Parade and events of Pride Walk and film festivals. He's a man of multi-talents, a documentary filmmaker who has made documentary film on the HIV and community under the series Caged, Uncaged, and Unheard Stories, which has been acclaimed internationally and screened internationally. He's also a photographer, and his solo exhibition, Transcending, has been organized, which has highlighted the issues of transgender community. And also we have among us Ms. Anshu Srivastav, who is a clinical hypnotherapist, trained hypnotherapist from California Institute of Hypnotherapy, a counselor, a regression therapist, and has been involved with matters of mind science for more than a decade. She has been actively involved in counseling and with the issues of gender and counseling the LGBT. To welcome our esteemed panelists, I would like to request Dr. Nakul Ishwar Suja, Associate Dean Agriculture, so that we can officially begin the program. So please.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Nirvan University is incorporated by Act number 2, 2017 of Government of Rajasthan and recognized as per Section 2F of UGC Act 1950. It is multidisciplinary university. As already discussed by Professor Tanu, we are running different faculties like management, agriculture, education, law, and human rights. So on this occasion, I welcome today's expert, Mr. Yadvinder Singh, equal rights defender, Ms. Anshu Srivastava, therapist and counselor, and I hope the webinar entitled Gender Neutral Education will be very good for us. And this is for your kind information that we are available on different social media platforms and we are having very good outreach. In fact, I'll pleasure to share with you that we are having more than 10,000 sometimes reach at live telecast. So over to you, Professor Tanu Tandon. After this formal welcome, I suggest you to please proceed the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jasuja. Thank you for your words. Gender neutral is an idea which implies that gender policies, the languages, social institutions, and structures should avoid the discriminatory role which has been according to the gender and should avoid stop gender stereotyping and gender biasness. And since we believe that these gender roles conditioning start from the very beginning and at the school level itself, therefore, our education system should be such that it reaches out and it provides an education which is gender neutral. So deliberate upon these issues. Now, I would like our experts to take the floor, and I would like to ask Dr. Mr. Yadvin Singh Darvesh to kindly brief us and give us the insight about the gender neutral and the LGBTQ community, their needs and demands. So please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. And also I thank sir for welcoming. So, ma'am, as you have very rightly said, the whole concept of education being gender neutral. Now, the point is that how to make this, because we have seen there have been many occasions where there have been huge resistance, not only by the education institutions, but by the government and by the society at large. The recent example that has, there is the NCERT training manual, which was being developed, which was very inclusive of the community, which was there to train the teachers, to train the academicians, and it has a very large value going beyond this academics. And this training manual was developed in consultation with the community. It was developed with consultation with like everybody on whoever the stakeholders for this. And it was a very, very inclusive manual. The manual came to us. It was very participatory. Everybody had an opportunity to give feedback and it really came out very well. But what happened? Once it was put on, it was there on the website, there was a huge backlash. There was a huge resistance. And then the NCERT pulls down that particular manual. So this is one example. But having said this, there is also welcoming that there is one education institution in Kochi, which is specifically for the community people. It was established, I think, some 4 years back. But yeah, so sorry. So it was established some 4 years back, but it is very relevant to have that kind of a place where people come and because there have been many examples where the companies have been, because of their gender expression and identity, they have been not been accepting in the schools and colleges. So we have a very contrasting situation. We know that there is a backlash, but we know that there are some places where it is being welcomed. So we have to strike a balance. So we need to understand what is the fear. It is the fear of the unknown. So instead of like you are resisting, I think the people should be more welcoming and opening to understand the idea. Gender is just not now male and female. Gender goes much, much beyond that. People have to understand that many times we see that gender equates to female, which is not so. Gender is a very large issue. So we have to be very careful that if we come out with something, we have to make sure that people understand the concept behind it. People understand the idea behind it. We say that we are an inclusive society. So we have to show through our action, not really by words. And the actions are there. They are at the NCERT manual, which should have been welcome. Now we have the new education policy, which talks about the inclusion of transgender people. But when somebody takes a step like NCERT, then there is a resistance. So there is a very contrast how to make sure that whatever is being there in the new education policy gets translated. So that's to begin with.
But Yadvinji, I would like to ask you about that. What are the basically, as per your experience, because you have a vast experience in that, what are the basic needs and demands which of the community, or how we can? What are the suggestions you feel that how a teacher or in a classroom can be made more gender neutral in terms of like curriculum is a policy decision, I do agree, but the pedagogy or the environment campus or the behavior of the teacher. So what are your suggestions? How we can make it more inclusive and gender neutral?
See, as you have rightly said, that curriculum is like a policy matter. So probably there has to be some additional activities around the gender. which obviously teachers can take, which actually, when you talk about in biology or we talk about social sciences, then probably these activities should be taken up. Activities such as like we have the so many days, UN days, like Transgender Day of Remembrance, we have World Human Rights Day, we have World AIDS Day, then probably you can call somebody from the community to address the students so that the students can directly interact with them and try to understand. Because at the end of the day, we all are human beings. We all have same requirements. It is not that just being from the community, our requirements are different. No. Food, shelter, Wi-Fi, proper education, dignity, acceptance, respect, everybody needs that. So
Even
same is
love,
there, but
love, respect, compassion. We all need that
yeah,
acceptance. Yes, it's the same.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same. It's the same. It's the same.
yeah. So,
In fact, I believe that because as a teacher educator, I believe that I have seen that the teachers are not aware and sensitive about the issue. Maybe we need more sensitization of the teachers and the awareness of them.
yeah, of course. So in fact, if you see this NCERT manual, it is to build the capacity of the teachers. That is the main prime objective. So probably though they have withdrawn it from the website, but probably the teachers can always refer to it. It has some very salient points in how to build the capacity of the teachers. It talks about issues at the puberty. It talks about education, that how to be non-judgmental towards these people. Because see, the normally is when we see something very different. एक आदमी है, एक औरत है, बट हमें कुछ ऐसा दिखता है जो हमें लगता है ये आदमी है, ये औरत, तो हम तुरंत जजमेंटल हो जाते हैं. There are a lot of words, negative words that are being used to describe those identities of the people. We forget that those words form the identity, but those identities, those words become abused. So unki identity has become abusive.
Yes.
So we need to be very careful and just right from the beginning, because इनिशियल स्टेजेस जब स्टूडेंट्स छोटे होते हैं तभी से अगर टीचर्स उनको उस बात पे ध्यान देने लगे, उससे पहले टीचर्स खुद they can have a session, they can call somebody and interact with them, because one-on-one group interaction is the best. When you see, we can see a lot of videos which is available on YouTube, and you can see a lot of books, you can read a lot of books, but एक human interaction बहुत जरूरी है to get the first-hand experience of what people face, what people go through. हम दूर से देख लेते कि कम्युनिटी का जा रहा है या कोई ट्रांस पर्सन है या कोई किन्नर समुदाय से, we just see it from the and हम just imagine things. अरे क्या होगा, इनकी दुनिया कैसी होगी, इनकी कैसे क्या करते होंगे, सब कुछ वैसे ही है जैसे एक आम इंसान का है. But we need to be non-judgmental and more opening and welcoming. Call them, invite them, and have a session. Talk to them. कि आपकी क्या डिफिकल्टीज हो रही लाइफ में, आपको सोसाइटी एक्सेप्ट कर रही है कि नहीं कर रही है, आपको आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स जो है, जो एक हर एक इंसान की होती है, क्या वो फुलफिल हो रही कि नहीं. देयर आर, आपको एजुकेशन नहीं मिली, दो मेनी वांट्स टू बिकम लाइक इन वांट्स टू जॉइन लॉट ऑफ मेन स्ट्रीम जॉब. बचपन से ड्रीम होता है कि हम एक टीचर बनेंगे, हम पायलट बनेंगे, हम इंजीनियर बनेंगे, हम डॉक्टर बनेंगे, बट द मोमेंट द पर्सन एंटर्स द स्कूल सिस्टम, वो स्टिग्मा, वो जजमेंट इतना होता है कि पूरे ड्रीम्स खत्म हो जाते हैं. फिर उसको लगता है कि मेरे पास बस एक ही पाथ रह गया, दैट इज फॉर बेगिंग. एट द स्ट्रीट लाइफ में हम बेग करें, क्या करें, पेरेंट्स का सपोर्ट नहीं होता है. टीचर्स तो पहली बात तो है ही है, बट पेरेंट्स का सपोर्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, फैमिली का सपोर्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. क्योंकि अगर होम इज नॉट वेरी फ्रेंडली प्लेस, तो वो मेंटल हेल्थ पे भी बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्ट करता है.
Yes, yes. Then please be with us, and I'd like to now direct to Ms. Anshu about it. When we talked about the acceptance and the coming out and the acceptance from the parents, like she has been telling. So I would like to ask you, like Mr. Yadvin, jaise Yadvin ji ne bataya, that acceptance and coming out, and so that they can become a mainstream part society and inclusive. So what has been your observations and what have been your insights and experiences related to the transgender and overall a pura gender spectrum? Please unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. See, the thing is कि what I come across is like the self-acceptance is also a very big issue. The people themselves are very hesitant about accepting themselves. And when it comes to society and people, for them being LGBT person is like a mental illness, which is not right. But this thought process causes a lot of mental health struggles in the community. It has been observed that in school or college environment, gender stereotyping can affect a young person's classroom experience, academic performance, subject choice, and overall well-being. What I found that the overall mental health services required by the community is around 3 times higher than the straight counterparts. They have so many issues when it due to the rejection from the society, or many times by due to the rejection they have them for themselves. So it is found that they feel very unsafe, very insecure, even in the home. They don't feel safe in the home. And when it comes to colleges, then obviously they are very hesitant making new friends. They have very high rate of suicidal tendency. In fact, it is observed that they have at least 4 times more suicidal tendency than a normal person. And most of the people suffer from the depression due to the discrimination. They have high anxiety. They feel very isolated. They don't feel a part of the community. Means the whole society, I need to say. They don't feel a part. And that makes them very isolated. Due to it, they also have sleeping issues. Many times they get into the habit of substance use, which is not, they know that it's not right for them, but they take it just something through which they can divert that mind. So in my view, the first thing which is very important is self-acceptance, that they need to accept how they are. And when it comes to the family, yes, there are issues family members don't accept, but when they come out, the family has to be more, you could say, more careful about how they are dealing with them, which is right now missing.
Like while we were speaking yesterday about it, and you talked about that the fear which they have, the families, or the
Exactly.
stigma which is attached to them, or the discriminatory things, which I suppose start from the very beginning at the play school level itself, where when we all know that gender is a social and a cultural construct, but still there are kind of roles and the stereotyping which we do, which starts from the family, and the
Exactly.
school is the learning place where the teachers and the like what I believe is that when we talk about the inclusive society now, how we have the cognitive disabled or students coming, and now gradually an acceptance is coming and people are trying. So likewise, if we begin about these things, that gender is a very neutral thing, irrespective of that, all the children should be treated equally, no gender roles, no gender stereotyping, then I think somewhere in the society the discrimination and the stigma would ease out gradually.
It is true, but the thing is, the first thing which is very important is the family should accept them. And then it comes to the college, the friends, and other things. See what happens, but it has been observed. Then when the family comes to know about it, they say it's fine till the time for this in the society you're heterosexual.
Ma'am,
Whatever you are, be in a closet. But
ma'am, one
in
more
front
thing.
of the society, you need not come out. So from the family only this thing comes.
Ma'am,
Okay.
one more thing. Don't you think that our society is having very less acceptance rate towards unusual behavior right from schooling? And even citations provided by different honorable courts also indicating that we are not too sensitive regarding this issue. And in fact, we are too late, very late to raise such a sensitive issue of gender neutrality.
It's very true. The
If
society is not accepting them. It's a fact. And that is why there are so much psychological issues they face.
right, So, as you suggested, that self-acceptance is very important.
Very, very
In fact,
important.
indeed, it is very important. But if society is not proactive and not, gender sensitive and friendly, then self-acceptance ratio will not gradually increase. So, ultimately, again, the question is the awareness of society.
Very true. The awareness
But-
has to be there.
But I think that wherein, like, we are diverting from the topic, which I wanted to come to, that was that if we talk about the gender neutral education, and education schools start from the play school to the college level can become an hub or the source wherein we can start this awareness program, because in the society earlier, आज ही रिपोर्ट आई है कि पहली बार इंडिया में गर्ल्स का रेशियो ओवरऑल बॉयज से ज्यादा, मेन का से ज्यादा हुआ है, हर 1000 पे 1020. In the morning I was reading. I don't know, the things will come out. But जो मुहिम शुरू हुई, जो आपकी एक चीज शुरू हुई, वो स्कूल, कॉलेज, सोसाइटी, फैमिली सबसे मिलके शुरू हुई, wherein we started acting. And here I would like to come to Yadvin ji again, because he has been involved with he's a filmmaker as well, and he has been spreading the things about HIV and community through his documentaries. So the media also plays a big role into it, and also the society, like he has been involved in organizing the pride walks and parades and all that. So likewise, because I have been to his programs, so one student of mine who is also part of your group also, so the first time when he came to the stage and wearing skirt, I still remember. And in the university, I'm very, very happy to say that there were no eyes raised or questions asked. Well, all okay. Acceptance, celebration. So if in a school, a play school, child is not seen as unusual, which they are not, but people have this view. If it starts from there, I think the acceptance in family will also start triggering in, setting in, because somewhere we have to start, and school is also part of the society. The teachers come from the society, the children come from the society, and they will go back to the society. So if we start from the school, then I think, and I think the fear, यादवेन जी आप जब ज्यादा इस पे वो कर पाएंगे कि एक बार आपको सोसाइटी से एक्सेप्टेंस मिलनी शुरू हो जाती है, तो शायद फैमिली भी थोड़ा मेलो डाउन होना शुरू हो जाती है, बिकॉज फैमिली का सबसे बड़ा फियर यही तो होता है कि हमारा बच्चा सोसाइटी में एक्सेप्ट नहीं होगा तो हम कहाँ मुंह दिखाएंगे, क्योंकि हम अभी भी उसी मेंटालिटी के हैं कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, चार लोग जो मैं अभी भी ढूंढ रही हूँ कौन है. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द थिंग. यादवेन जी.
हाँ, देखिए मैम, इसमें अभी आपने जो बोला, आपने काफी रेलेवेंट पॉइंट रेज किए. जो पहला था कि देखिए होता क्या है कि हम लोग, मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडिया इज मिडिल क्लास और लो मिडिल क्लास. हम लोग एक ही घरों में रहते हैं, कई जगह जॉइंट फैमिलीज भी रहती हैं. हम देखते हैं वहां पे कि यूजली देयर इज जस्ट वन बाथरूम. उस बाथरूम को सब कोई यूज करता है. मेल भी यूज करते हैं, फीमेल्स भी यूज करते हैं, बच्चे बच्चियां एक ही वॉशरूम यूज करते हैं. द मोमेंट वो बच्चा स्कूल में जाता है, एलकेजी में एडमिशन लेता है, तो इमीडिएटली फर्स्ट स्ट्राइकिंग क्या होता है, वॉशरूम्स अलग अलग है. मेल्स के अलग हो गए, फीमेल्स के अलग हो गए. कोई बच्चे को नहीं बताता है इसका रीजन क्या है. नोबडी टॉक्स अबाउट इट. घर में तो बच्चा कहता है, घर में तो एक ही बाथरूम में पापा भी वही जाते, भाई भी वही जाती, बहन भी वही जाती, दादी वही जाती, और ये स्कूल में आती सब बदल जाता है. सब कुछ अलग होता है. गर्ल्स का अलग है, बॉयज का अलग है. गर्ल्स के लिए यूजली आयाज रहती है, मतलब बॉयज के लिए ज्यादातर, मतलब इस तरह से वो शुरू हो जाता है वहां पे. तो वहीं से हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि हमें जेंडर के नोशन को वहीं पे ही एड्रेस करना शुरू हो जाना चाहिए आइडियली. दैट इज द पॉइंट. लोग कहते हैं कि जेंडर की बातें हम बाद में करेंगे, ये बड़ी बातें हैं, ये है वो है. नहीं, छोटा एग्जाम्पल ले ले. आपको जेंडर की डेफिनेशन नहीं देनी, आप छोटे एग्जाम्पल से शुरू कर लीजिए. हम जैसे स्कूल कॉलेजेस से मतलब पढ़ते हैं कि राम गोज टू स्कूल, सीता कुक्स वेल. इसी को आप जेंडर नोशन को आप चैलेंज कर दीजिए कि सीता गोज टू स्कूल, राम इज अ गुड कुक. उसी में ही आप जब आप सिखाते, इनफैक्ट मैं कहीं सोशल मीडिया पे ही पढ़ रहा था, आई एम नॉट रियली श्योर कि कहाँ तक सही है, बिकॉज सोशल मीडिया में यू डोंट नो कि क्या सही है क्या नहीं सही है. बट एक जगह था कि जहाँ पे फैमिली की डेफिनेशन दी गई थी. दे सेट की आईसीएसई के जो सिलेबस में है वहां पे है, तो वहां पे जो एक ट्रेडिशनल फैमिली होता है जहाँ पे दिखाते हैं दादा दादी, पापा मम्मी, बेटा बेटी, उसके अलावा देर आर सो मेनी अदर टाइप्स ऑफ फैमिली। सिर्फ हस्बैंड वाइफ जिनके बच्चे नहीं है वो भी एक फैमिली है।
हम्म।
तो दो कपल, सेम सेक्स कपल रह रहे, वो भी फैमिली है। उन्होंने बच्चा अडॉप्ट किया, वो भी फैमिली है। तो इस तरह से अगर हम कुछ एग्जाम्पल शुरू से ही देना शुरू कर दें, जो हम किन्नर की बात करते हैं, हम सब जानते हैं कि किन्नरों का एक परिवार अपना खुद का होता है, हम वो भी एग्जाम्पल में दे दें विजुअल कि भैया सब तरह से, और बच्चा छोटे में सब चीज बहुत एक्सेप्ट कर लेता है। बड़े होने में जो एक प्री कंसीव नोशंस आ जाते हैं वो एक बहुत बड़ा बैरियर हो जाता है। उस चीज को अगर आप चैलेंज करेंगे एडल्टहुड में जाके तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है उसको एक्सेप्ट कर पाना। तो अगर हम ये शुरू से ही हम ये जेंडर के नोशंस को चैलेंज करना शुरू करते और हर किस्म के जेंडर को हम वहां पे एक्सप्लोर करें, जेंडर के अलावा सेक्सुअलिटीज है, जेंडर आइडेंटिटीज है, सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन है, तो बच्चा टोटली, अब जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल आपने एक और बात की मीडिया की, मीडिया डेफिनेटली हैज अ वेरी वेरी ह्यूज रोल। चाहे आपका वो ट्रेडिशनल मीडिया हो, चाहे वो आपका सोशल मीडिया हो, इंक्लूडिंग फिल्म, कि किस तरह से फिल्म को हम देखते हैं कि इनिशियली कितना कैरिकेचर बनाया जाता था जेंडर अलग जेंडर आइडेंटिटीज के लोगों के साथ, सो जस्ट दे वर यूज्ड फॉर द कॉमिक पर्पसेस। तो वही बन गया है सबके दिमाग में, आके अरे वो तो कॉमिक कैरेक्टर है, अरे वो तो अजीब सा कैरेक्टर है। So why can't we have something more sensible and more sensitive approach? मीडिया का बहुत बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस होता है। आपको मैं अभी एक फिल्म आई थी अलीगढ़, which was very sensitive portrayal, but yeah, so थोड़ी सीरियस मूवी थी तो ज्यादा मेन स्ट्रीम तक नहीं पहुंच पाई। बट हमें ऐसी फिल्म, बट इसका ये मतलब नहीं होता है कि हम सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज से अलग हो जाए। एवरीथिंग कैन नॉट बी कमर्शियलाइज्ड। कुछ का सोशल एंगल होता है, वो हमें लेकर चलना पड़ेगा। वी हैव टू मेक मोर। हालांकि अभी दे हैव वन वेरी गुड वेब सीरीज रोमिल जुगल, और अगर आप ऑल्ट बालाजी देखिए, अब नेटफ्लिक्स का जमाना है, नेटफ्लिक्स है, अमेजॉन प्राइम है, ये ओटीपी प्लेटफॉर्म जो है, इसमें बहुत अच्छी मूवीज आती है, बहुत ही सेंसिटिव मूवीज है, बहुत ही प्रोग्रेसिव मूवीज है। तो वो सब है जहाँ पे अब हम थोड़ा होप कर रहे हैं कि आने वाली जनरेशन, बिकॉज दे आर गेटिंग सो मच एक्सपोजर टू ऑल दिस इशू, विल बी मोर सेंसिटिव, विल बी मोर वेलकमिंग, विल बी मोर वार्मिंग टुवर्ड्स सो मेनी जेंडर आइडेंटिटीज। और इसके अलावा एक और चीज देखा गया है कि ये जो फिनोमिना है, ये अभी भी बहुत ही लिमिटेड है इन द मेट्रो सिटीज और इन बिग टाउन, लाइक मुंबई है, दिल्ली है, और फॉर दैट मैटर कैपिटल सिटीज है, चाहे चंडीगढ़ हो, जयपुर हो, लखनऊ हो, या साउथ की सिटीज हो, हैदराबाद वगैरह। बट अभी स्टिल भी ये बहुत ही अर्बन फिनोमिना होके रह गया है। हमारा सबसे बड़ा सवाल ये है कि हाउ टू मेक इट रीच टू, से मैं लखनऊ में हूँ, यहाँ से 50-60 किलोमीटर दूर सीतापुर है, नथिंग एक्सिस्ट इन सीतापुर, देयर इज नो सपोर्ट सिस्टम। फॉरगेट सीतापुर, इवन बाराबंकी, उन्नाव, कुछ भी नहीं है यहाँ पर। वहां के लोग कहाँ जाएंगे? आई हैव बीन गेटिंग सो मेनी डिस्ट्रेस कॉल। अभी रिसेंटली आई शेयर, जहाँ पे 2 लोगों ने मुझे रीच आउट किया, और दे जस्ट वांट टू लीव देयर स्कूल, दे जस्ट वांट टू लीव देयर फैमिली। इतना उनका मेंटल, बिकॉज it is not that they have come out to them, it is just because of their gender expression. Being male, unka gender expression is very feminine, so there have been huge tortures for them. Family में, school में support नहीं मिला। एक ने बोला कि उसका 12th exam है साल, that person does not want to take the exam, he just want to run away from the family, from the school. कोई support system ही नहीं exist कर रहा है, you know. And there is similarly there is another person, though he's completed his he's from Jaipur only, उसका फोन आया था, though he's completed his graduation, but उसकी बोला कि एजुकेशन में मुझे कोई कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं दिया, मुझे सिर्फ बुकिश नॉलेज दे दी, और मुझे ये कॉन्फिडेंस दिया ही नहीं कि मैं अपनी आइडेंटिटी के साथ दुनिया को कैसे फेस करूंगा। बहुत ही एक वो कंजर्वेटिव इन्वायरमेंट था जहाँ पे क्लास में गए नहीं गए कंपलसरी नहीं था स्कूल अटेंड करना, क्लासेस अटेंड करना, अटेंडेंस तो अपने आप लग जाती थी। उसने बोला मुझे 5-6 साल हो गए, आई कंप्लीटेड द ग्रेजुएशन, but still I do not have the confidence to go out and face the world. I have my degrees, but what are the use of those degrees? जब हमें स्कूल में, कॉलेजेस में यही नहीं सिखाया गया कि हम एक सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस कैसे डेवलप करें, हम अपनी आइडेंटिटी को लेके कैसे प्राइड फील करें। मेरे लिए डिग्री सब यूजलेस हो गई।
Yes.
आई जस्ट डू
Yes.
नॉट हैव कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ गोइंग आउट। तो
Yes.
ये इश्यूज हैं जो वी हैव टू डील एट द स्कूल एंड द कॉलेज लेवल। थैंक यू।
Yes, yes. And adding to it, I'll reach to again Miss Anshu. Like she was talking about that coming out is a big issue. एक family acceptance और self acceptance की जो हम बात करते हैं उसमें कि coming out is a big issue because वो हमेशा एक fear रहता है और या फिर एक वो नहीं रहता है. Like when I was doing my dissertation, I have done my dissertation on transgenders, being transgender. A phenomenological study where I talk to transgenders and उसमें ये बहुत बड़ा एक मुद्दा निकल के आया coming out, वही वाली बात। तो अगर हमारी एजुकेशन, जैसे कि मेरी आपसे कल भी बात हो रही थी when we were talking, Miss Anshu, that if acceptance is there and if education can be such, because we are focusing on that gender neutral education can be such, then what are your views on this, that how easy or how comfortable it would be for them to reach to their potential or at least live their life to begin with, and coming out, accepting, and then trying their best to adjust with the society.
See, when the whole education system will be gender acceptance will be there, the things will be very helpful for them, because they will know that yes, they have an identity of themselves. Right now, they search for the identity, they search who they are. So, in my views, in colleges, if there are certain things which can be made, changed, which can help them,
Okay.
which will be very good for them. Basically, there are few suggestions which I came across from the people that this can be done
please,
somewhere.
please. And I would request you, if with anonymity, of course, if you give few examples of, like, the kind of problems or the issues they face. Of course, being anonymous, I'm not but
okay. I'll give an example of the trans woman. Basically, she has graduated from Delhi. She has done the VLCC course from there, complete, and she was in job also there. But once she came out, she was told that she cannot work there anymore. And now she has nothing to do. She is in search of the job. She has been trying since last 3 years, but she is not getting any job only due to her identity issue. Okay. So she is going to severe depression. Till now, she has tried suicide 3 times.
Okay.
The family is not at all supporting. They are saying, fine, we accept you, but if तुम्हें घर आना है, तो रात में जब सब लोग सो जाए मोहल्ले में तब आना. So she says, is this an acceptance? ये तो acceptance ही नहीं है. If I have to come and meet my family in the night when nobody can see, it's not being accepted.
शायद कहीं अगर स्कूल कॉलेज में ये एक्सेप्टेंस होता, या जैसे कि आजविन जी ने बोला कि जेंडर न्यूट्रल माहौल बनना शुरू हो गया होता, तो शायद लोगों के लिए एक्सेप्टेंस आ जाती, तो वही फैमिली जो लोगों के डर से उसे कह रही है कि मत आओ रात को, वो शायद उतनी नैरो वो नहीं रहती.
बिल्कुल, very true, very true. In fact, I came across, because I work with certain people in this community, so I came to know that there's a movie, Tare Zameen Par Part 2 is coming up. Okay. That movie is based on lesbian girl. So in that, there was a scene, I saw that scene where she has not come out with in front of the family. She's very hesitant, and when she comes to the college and she's like, what's going to happen here? She's sitting with the father in the canteen, and suddenly she sees in the college that there is a pride parade is going on where they are talking about the LGBTQ community, and she feels so happy about it. In fact, this film was picturized in Lucknow itself.
Okay.
Yes. So And a lot of people from this community has worked in that movie.
Okay.
So it was such a nice thing. If something like this can be done in the colleges, maybe something like Nukkad Natak sort of a thing can be done in the campus where it's shown ki yes, they are part of the community, the whole society. It will be good.
That brings me to Yadven ji again. When we talk about the gender fluid, or when we talk about when they are not the boys and the girls, when they are young, or when they are not, identity has not been established in that sense, when the young boys and girls feel that they are, trans, or they are not even clear with their choices or something like that, then I think, is it true that a kind of complex and a fear starts setting up there itself, that are we different from people, or are we doing something which is bad or which is not good, and what I am, मैं क्या हूँ, मैं ये हूँ कि मैं वो हूँ, because मुझे या तो ये होना है या वो होना है, मुझे स्पेक्ट्रम है नहीं मेरे लिए, तो या तो मैं, जैसे हम अपनी जिंदगी देखते हैं ना, तो काला होता है या सफेद होता है, we fail to see that there are shades of gray, we later on we realize the later. So अगर ये एक कहीं से एक शुरुआत की जाए कि जेंडर फ्लूइडिटी वाली, या एक nothing is right and wrong, and there's a kind of big spectrum of gender, it's not boy and girl. And again, because we really shy away from giving sex education to the students in school right now, boys and girls, जेंडर कोई भी स्पेक्ट्रम आप छोड़ दीजिए, तो अगेन वो सेक्सुअलिटी की चॉइस जो है वो इतना बड़ा इशू बन जाता है. अगर आप एक लेस्बियन और गे वाली बात करें तो वो बहुत ही पर्सनल चॉइस है सेक्सुअलिटी की, लेकिन उसका हम इतना बड़ा हो हल्ला बना के उस आदमी को ब्लेम करना, या उसको डायरेक्ट करना, या उसको स्टीरियोटाइपिंग करना, जैसे कि आप बात कर रहे थे, यू वर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट इफ अ पर्सन इज अ गे, ही हैज टू बी फेमिनिन. नो, I haven't come across people like that. I know many. I haven't come across so that a lesbian has to be manly or a gay has. I haven't come across, but the entire society, the media, and I think I have met 2-3 boys who are like, they are not coming out, or they are like, वो खुद ही नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर रहे, बिकॉज उनको लग रहा है कि हम ऐसे नहीं है, हमारी सेक्सुअल चॉइस तो है लेकिन हम फेमिनिन तो नहीं है, तो हम क्या हैं, हम क्या हैं, क्योंकि हमें तो ऐसा होना चाहिए अगर हम ये हैं तो. Young boys. So where does it all lead us to, and where it stands, and how these issues can be taken up and resolved?
Sure. See, देखिए, जब हम इन सब मुद्दों की बात करते हैं, तो एक तो है कि there are many identities. Trans women के साथ we have to also accept that there are trans men. उनके भी issues बड़े ही different होते हैं, because होता क्या है कि देखिए, हम सोसाइटी में हर चीज का जेंडर है. एवरीथिंग हैज देयर आर जेंडर्ड रूल्स. अगर औरत है तो उसको ये करना है, अगर आदमी है तो उसको ये करना है, और उनका पूरा सेंस ऑफ जेंडर कम्स फ्रॉम देयर बायोलॉजिकल सेक्स, व्हिच इज सो रॉन्ग. जेंडर कैन नॉट बी डिफाइंड बाय बायोलॉजी. बट सोसाइटी में होता है कि अगर औरत है तो यही करेगा, स्कर्ट पहननी है, पिंक कलर चाहिए, छोटे में ही उसको डॉल दे देते हैं, और सेम विद गाय, लड़का है घर है तो उसको मोचका टॉयज में ब्लू कलर, ऑल दैट थिंग, वेरी जेंडर्ड. तो होता है कि जब ऐसे बच्चे जब बड़े होते हैं, वन who will later identify as a trans woman or as a trans man, for them it becomes very difficult. आप उसको जबरदस्ती, वो छोटा है कुछ बोल रहा है, पेरेंट्स सुनते तो है, क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि बच्चे पैदा कर दिए तो उनका 100% अधिकार हो गया उन पर.
Exactly.
ऐसा नहीं होता है. तो वो चीज एक तो होता है क्या कि जब बच्चा बड़ा हो रहा है, somebody, अगर कोई लड़की है जो अपने आप को लेटर ट्रांस मैन आइडेंटिफाई करेगा, बट द इशू इज कि उसको जबरदस्ती स्कर्ट पहना रहे, उसको जबरदस्ती पिंक ड्रेसेस ला के दे रहे, ब्राइट कलर्स ला के दे रहे, उसके टॉयज ऐसे आ रहे हैं जो उसको कंफर्टेबल नहीं कर रहे हैं, कि वो गुड़ियों के साथ नहीं खेलना चाहता है, वो किसी और. तो वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बहुत बचपन से जो ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो जाता है, और इसका कोई रेजोल्यूशन नहीं, बिकॉज फर्स्ट थिंग पेरेंट्स नहीं समझते. उनको लगता है कि थप्पड़ मारेंगे पीटेंगे तो बच्चा सुधर जाएगा, बच्चा बिगड़ रहा है, बच्चों को बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपोजर हो गया. बट वो फैक्ट नहीं. They need to understand, they need to develop that level of empathy, they need to develop that level of emotional intelligence. Parents को बहुत जरूरी है to understand कि what their kids are going through, because जब तक वो नहीं समझेंगे तब तक मतलब बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाएगा बच्चे के लिए to become like fully functional adult in the society. तो वो चीज आपको एड्रेस करना बहुत जरूरी होती है, और इसके लिए अगर कोई भी पेरेंट्स को लग रहा है कि बच्चा में ये हम देख रहे हैं या इस तरह के हम कुछ देख रहे हैं, तो obviously the parent should need to consult the psychologist and try to figure out what's happening with the kid. और दोनों के लिए ये बहुत ही अच्छा था ताकि बाद में इस चीज को मतलब एक मुद्दा न बन जाए पेरेंट्स के लिए। जैसे कि अभी एक मेरी नजर में मतलब आई नो अ पर्सन हु इज स्टिल वेरी फेमिनाइन एंड वो अपने आप को ट्रांस वुमेन आइडेंटिफाई करता है, बट उसने जब अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया था तो उसने बोला था मैं बचपन से ही बहुत फेमिनाइन था, मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मुझे ताइक्वांडो क्लासेस ज्वाइन करवाई ताकि मेरी फेमिनिटी हट जाए। मेरे पेरेंट्स ने फिर जब नहीं हो पाया मुझसे तो उन्होंने बॉक्सिंग क्लासेस और हॉर्स राइडिंग, तो जिसको हम यूजुअली सोसाइटी परसीव करती है दैट दीस आर मेल थिंग्स टू डू, पर उससे नहीं हो पाया बल्कि उसका मेंटल टॉर्चर बहुत ज्यादा होता चल गया। उसने अपने पेरेंट्स से बात करने की कोशिश की बट दे वर नॉट रेडी टू लिसन, एंड उसके लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो गया था, स्कूल जाना डिफिकल्ट हो गया था। सब पे हंसते थे जब उसके जब किसी को पता चलता था अरे वो ताइक्वांडो में उसकी जो स्कूल में क्लासेस होती थी आपने स्कूल वगैरह ज्वाइन करा है, देन किड्स यूज्ड टू लाफ। उसके जो इंस्ट्रक्टर्स थे वो कहते थे कि तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा ये सब, पता नहीं तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स तो जब तुमको फोर्स कर रहे हैं, एंड ही बिकेम अ सब्जेक्ट ऑफ रिडिक्यूल फॉर एवरीवन। तो उसने बताया कि बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ही इज इन सच अ कंडीशन टुडे, वो आज ही इज अराउंड 35, but still he is so unstable. अभी तक, after completing his graduation, post graduation, he could not take up a proper job. Job में भी he has huge trust issues, तो 1-2 साल से तो वो जॉब कर नहीं पाता है। सोसाइटी मतलब जहाँ भी जाता है तो पीपल आर जेस्चर्स बनाते हैं उसको देखकर, उसके पीठ पीछे इतनी तेज बोलते हैं एटलीस्ट उसके कानों तक वो बातें जाए, वो कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाते कि बिकम फुल फंक्शनल एडल्ट, और पेरेंट्स का उसको कभी सपोर्ट नहीं रहा। एजुकेशन में भी कभी टीचर्स ने या किसी ने भी उसको, चाहे वो स्कूल हो चाहे कॉलेज हो, नोबडी सपोर्टेड है। सो इस तरह से हम क्या ऐसे लोग मतलब कहाँ पे हम जाएंगे अगर हमें इस तरह का माहौल मिलता रहा कि हम हर चीज को जज करेंगे, लड़का है तो उसको जो जैसे सोसाइटी ने डिफाइन किया उसको वैसे ही एक्ट करना पड़ेगा, लड़की है जैसे सोसाइटी ने डिफाइन किया उसको वैसे ही एक्ट करना पड़ेगा। स्लाइट सा अगर डिविएशन हो जाता है तो पर्सन बिकम सब्जेक्ट ऑफ मॉकरी। वो मेंटल हेल्थ बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्ट करता है, उसको कहीं से सपोर्ट नहीं मिलता है, बिकॉज हम जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं स्कूल वगैरह में टीचर्स खुद सेंसिटाइज नहीं है, खुद उनको अवेयरनेस है इस चीज की, है ना। सो तो ये चीज है जो हमें देखना पड़ेगा एंड हमें बहुत ही होलिस्टिकली इसको अप्रोच करना पड़ेगा सब्जेक्ट को। थैंक यू मैम।
थैंक यू। ये इसी चीज से मैं अभी अंशु जी के पास भी जाना चाहूंगी। देवेश जी ने आपने बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट बात यहाँ पे हाईलाइट की, एंड बट आई फील दैट स्कूलिंग में जो बच्चे हैं वही नेक्स्ट जनरेशन पेरेंट्स हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं अगर हम जेंडर न्यूट्रल एजुकेशन की शुरुआत आज करते हैं तो आज के पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस करने में हमें बहुत टाइम भले लगे या आज की सोसाइटी को, पर जो हमारी जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन आएगी जिसमें सोसाइटी है, पेरेंट्स हैं, शायद जब वो इस जेंडर न्यूट्रलिटी के साथ बड़े होंगे, इफ दे विल कम अक्रॉस these issues, these concerns, and also with this idea and the notion that this gender is a spectrum and there are no certain assigned gender roles, and if we can break free of stereotypes, which is a huge mammoth thing right now, but if we begin with this notion in the schools today, then maybe the next generation which will come will be able to, या यही जो स्कूल के बच्चे हैं जब ये कॉलेज में जाएंगे तो शायद कॉलेज के अपने ऐसे कोलीग्स को, अपने साथ के बच्चों को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, हम सब एक दूसरे को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे द वे वी आर, एंड इवन व्हेन वी बिकम लाइक द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन बिकम पेरेंट्स, एंड सो दे विल बी एबल टू एक्सेप्ट देयर चिल्ड्रन and the children in the society which come across. So Anshu ji ke paas mein I'll again would like to request her to share with us the suggestions she was referring to few moments back she talked about.
Okay,
Yeah.
one thing I would like to add here, as we were talking about कि आप बोल रही थी कि अगर आज के में changes होंगी तो कल को future में फर्क पड़ेगा.
Hmm.
So there is Mr. Manveen Singh Gohil. He is the first open gay prince in the world.
Yes.
So he says कि अगर आज हमने ट्रेनिंग दी, हमने लोगों को LGBT राइट्स के बारे में बताया, तो जब कल जो सोसाइटी बनेगी पूरी, उसमें it will be inclusive society where there will be no question on the gender. So it's very important कि आज के दिन में स्कूल और कॉलेजेस में इसके बारे में LGBT के बारे में पढ़ाया जाए, लोगों को बताया जाए.
Yes, yes. और वो भी डायरेक्ट तरीके से नहीं कि आपको थोप थोप के पढ़ाया जा रहा है.
Yes,
ऐसे
yes,
इंटरेक्टिव और वैसे तरीके से हैंड्स ऑन कि आप उसको अनकॉन्शियस सबकॉन्शियस वे में उसको समझे. जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, वैल्यूज आर नॉट टॉट, दे आर कॉट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स शुड लाइफ स्किल एजुकेशन वाली जो हम बात कर रहे थे.
Correct.
आई थिंक यादविन जी विल एग्री विद मी. अंशु जी, आप वो सजेशंस जो शेयर करना चाह रहे थे.
Yes. इनफैक्ट आपने चूंकि बोला कि किसी चीज को थोपा नहीं जा सकता, दैट्स वेरी ट्रू. तो मैं एक एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ आपको. एक स्पेन में क्रिएटिव फैक्ट्री का कॉन्सेप्ट है, जहां पर वो अपने स्टूडेंट्स को 4 वीक्स के लिए once in a week they do some programs and some knowledge they give about the different genders and how the transgender people work and all that. And it's found that after 4 weeks, the acceptance was much more towards the third gender and overall. So this is being tested and tried thing in Spain, and now it is being followed in different parts of the world. It is called as Creative Factory.
Okay, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so this is one thing we can do. Then secondly, maybe it's a helpline or a chat or a text 24/7 support system can be done by the college, where these students can anytime call and speak. It should be done in the college.
Online counseling kind of.
Yes, counseling, or in fact, they can just tell that this is the issue they are having. And later the person may talk to them and address their issues. The third thing, what I feel, that the counselors or the psychologists which are there in the colleges, many times they themselves are transphobic.
Yeah, that is there.
Yes, so this is something the college or the school should be very careful about. The person who they are keeping as a psychologist or a counselor should be able to handle the issues of this community.
Sensitive enough, aware enough, empathetic enough
exactly.
to handle.
Exactly. And then we were also speaking about कि उन लोगों को job नहीं मिलती है और कई बार वो trained नहीं होते हैं कि क्या करें. So maybe we can have some vocational courses for 3 to 6 months, which can ensure a financial independence for them in future. So maybe something can be done on this line.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Here, I would like to give a small example, although not directly related to it, but I would like to talk about it. There's a very good school in Lucknow called Sparsh at Mohan Road. So, which is for the blind students, and I've been there a lot of times. So this thing is not directly related, but I'll relate to it later on. So we went to Sparsh. There's a school for the male blind students, which is at Mohan Road, Shakundla Mishra ke aage. So I went with my B.Ed girls over there because I teach B.Ed girls. The moment the bus reached and the boys came to know that the girls have come, the B.Ed girls have come, the level of confidence the boys have. The adolescent boys, they all ran to the rooms to comb their hair or do their dress proper and all that, because they were told that the girls have B.Ed girls have come. So they were all like normally all adolescent boys do. They also did the same things. Then we went to the younger ones and we were talking to them and all that. So one of the boys, he came to me, and a very sweet boy, वो गाना वाना सीख रहा था and all that. तो उससे मैंने बोला, भाई तुम्हें यहाँ कैसा लगता है? बोलते, the only regret I have is कि मेरे parents ने मुझे यहाँ और पहले क्यों नहीं भेज दिया? Why इतनी देर क्यों लगाई? And the best thing which I learned from there, and I still give me goosebumps when I come here, was that why do we, मैंने कहा कैसा लगा, ऐसे ही बोल दिया किसी लड़की ने ना कि कैसा लगता है, उस तो they simply reverted, कैसा लगता है का क्या मतलब है? We are much better than the people who are there in the society. What is the difference do we have? We are much better than them. हमारा दिखता है, उनका दिखता नहीं है, यही तो डिफरेंस है, और क्या डिफरेंस? Even they have certain things which are here and there, and even we have certain things which are like, you know, what, मतलब उनका कहने का अर्थ ये था. So the kind of confidence the boys had, the kind of self-esteem they had, the kind of acceptance they had for themselves, and because they lacked something which they never felt that they lacked something. So that made me think that every one of us are individuals. Each and every one of us have some limitations, some strengths, certain things which make us unique. अब आप उसको ये समझें कि वो खराब है, या आप उसको समझें कि वो उसकी strength है. It's up to you. Like I was referring to this boy who is an autistic, first autistic model, Pranav Bakshi, I was listening to something, and he was saying that autism is my strength. So if we talk, I'm not talking about disability here, I'm talking about the uniqueness, the individuality, and the acceptance which we are talking about. So once we have this kind of notion and the idea which can be floated, which can be digged in, which can be like, you know, उसको घुसाया जा सके लोगों के दिमाग में, subtle way में, life skill education की उसमें, कि gender is a spectrum and we have all kind of people, but you do not have to judge them. We all have to accept ourselves the way we are as humans, as individuals, and our sexuality is a choice, which is a very personal thing. Plus, gender is also something which we opt for, we identify with later on as we move ahead, or the beginning, but that doesn't make us lesser from someone or more or something. It just, the acceptance from the society has to come in, because it is just we identify with, but doesn't make us, you know, label us like ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है, तो हमें यही करना है, यही करना है, यही करना है, यही करना है. You know, and if I'm applying as a trans, if I'm applying for a job, the job person employer should judge me by my qualifications and competencies, and not by my sexual choices or my gender, because that is none of the employer's business. He has to finally see कि मैं अपना काम कर पा रही हूँ कि नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. So this kind of mindset, I think somewhere we have to drill in, or bring in, or make it a part of society, which today it seems a very unachievable thing, but if we start taking a step at a time, I think we'll be able to bring this gradual change. Mr. Yadvin and Anshuji, your comment on this. Yadvinji.
Yeah, of course. जो आपने बोला है that is very important, but मुझे बस ये डर है कि gradually तो change होगा. I'm very optimistic about it. But the thing is कि ये कैसे trickle down होगा? Changes हमने observe किए हैं metro cities में, जैसे मैंने पहले बोला, but ये कैसे trickle down होगा छोटे शहरों में? हमारे गांव के स्कूल में कैसे trickle down होगा? वो एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. कहीं ये ना हो कि gradual becomes like really long process, because already we have lost so much of time. जैसे कि 377 का जो एक केस था, उसको 20 साल लग गए डिसीजन आने में, लीगल बैटल था. और फिर सोसाइटी चेंजेस तो बहुत बहुत टाइम लगता है. और मुझे लगता है कि जैसे कि दो widow remarriages have been legally allowed, but अभी भी सोसाइटी में accepted नहीं होता है widow remarriages. और caste has been like now it is illegal, but still we know that caste system exists very much. Society बहुत time लगेगा change हो जाने. Probably it will take a huge time, but उसके लिए हमें we have to be prepared कि हम कैसे अपना रोल निभाएं, our bit, ताकि जो हमारे आसपास है एटलीस्ट हम वहां पे लोगों को अवेयर कर सके, हमारे सराउंडिंग्स में अवेयर कर सके about this. We should start talking about these issues to our teachers, with our teachers, to our colleagues, with हमारे colleagues के साथ, with our colleagues, with our families, with our friends. At least हम कोई एक हर एक बंदा ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले ले कि चलिए कुछ नहीं, हम कोई बड़ा ड्रामेटिक चेंज नहीं ला रहे, बट हम अपने सराउंडिंग्स में चेंज ला रहे हैं. वो बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्टिव होगा. थैंक यू.
वेरी वेरी रेलेवेंट. वही जैसे अंशु जी आप कह रहे थे, अगर फैमिली एक्सेप्टेंस से ही शुरू अगर हम हो जाएं, self acceptance and family acceptance, and society doesn't mean the entire thing, but our own society kind of thing, community, friends, neighbors, and at individual level अगर हम अपनी तरफ से हर आदमी एक एक effort शुरू करे तो maybe as Yadvin ji said will be more facilitative and speed up.
In fact, I would like to add that for the first time in UP, UP government, BJP government has formed a transgender welfare board, in which Sonam Kinnar has been, the BJP leader has been appointed as a vice chairperson.
Yes.
So this is again an initiative by the government.
Yes, अगर उनके representative society में होंगे या parliament में होंगे या judiciary में हर जगह होंगे तो naturally उनको आवाज मिलेगी.
Exactly.
Yes, that is.
And she said that she is ready to provide financial support to the third gender people and to ensure that nobody leaves the education due to the financial crisis or any other type of issues. This was her statement.
So this will trickle down, come down to the same thing as Yadvin ji was also referring to. This, as an individual, if we start speaking about it, if a person who is like at any post, yes. I'm not talking only about the celebrity, but if I am yes. at a post and if I come out, I accept, I speak about it. If I'm not trans, but I speak about it, I support, I talk about it, then slowly and slowly it will start trickling down and at least reaching to the people who need it. So to end it all, it was a wonderful session, and we deliberated upon certain issues. Yes, we talked about the suggestions, but Yadvin ji and Anshu ji, both of you gave the real time experiences, and as Yadvin ji shared, the real problems which are there, which when we talk about the gender neutral education, we have to begin from the very grassroots level of the society, of the problems which are the people are facing or the families are facing, and the issues which are there. So I think it's just a beginning, and we all have to take our initiative and a pledge kind of thing we can take today, that we will start doing from what we can do from an individual bit and start speaking about it and holding hands together so that we can make a better inclusive society for all. So I would like to thank you, Yadvin ji and Anshu ji, for being part of this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And it was really, really informative and knowledgeable. And I really thank you again. And I also thank all the all the participants who were there and the audience who joined us. And we look forward to doing more such sessions so that we can do our bit and even have a screening of Yadvin ji's documentary.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we can have that. Okay, we can have your foundation. Okay. We can have a panel for them, and it would be interesting, and it would be. I would like to have that because I have been part of it, so I think I'd like to have that panel once, and also more discussions with Anshu ji regarding all these issues. So I thank you again. Thanks for being there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, so much for inviting us for this important topic.
My pleasure.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.
We end the session. I think we can leave the thing because I think, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yadvin ji. Thank you. We can leave this.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah.